Connor Gelding. Commando
This
3.
is an update for the owners at Commando 3, Dan and everyone at Yankee Creek Ranch. Well, mission complete. We finished Connor's second 5-star for the year at the Maryland 5-star. By far this was the biggest challenge that we've ever been faced with. It was a massive course. There were about 25 starters and only 13 made it to the finishing line on Sunday. Connor was absolutely brilliant in all phases, and the exciting part is that there's still a lot of room for improvement coming into next season. Connor, he was a good boy in the dressage. It was quite a spooky arena. There was a big jumbotron, and there was quite a lot of wind, and the plastic of all the VIP tents was sort of flapping around. And Connor's he's an extravagant horse, and he likes to show off, but he also gets easily distracted. The other hard part is, we had Connor so fit for this competition that really it's the sort of one of the most challenging parts in the sport. Is you're looking for a nice, quiet, relaxed horse for the dressage, and then also a galloping machine full of energy and stamina and endurance for the next day. It wasn't our best dressage test. It was close to it, but earlier this year at the Kentucky 5-star, he did a slightly better dressage test. One of the biggest challenges we've got is when we're going around the ring and really going for it. Sometimes Connor, if you look at his head and neck, he looks up a little bit at the stands and gets a bit nervous, and there was a big jumbotron right beside the arena there, and sort of as we're going around, Connor had a bit of a spook at it. By saying that, most of our trot work and the walk was up close to the leaders. He was trending to get a really top score in the 20s. I think at Kentucky 5-star earlier this year he got a 26 or a 27. So our dressage score was 30 this weekend at the Maryland 5-star. We basically had 3 judges. One gave us 70%, the other one gave us 70.5%, and the judge at C, the middle one, gave us 68%. So we finished on a grand total of 30.3, which left us in 4th place after the dressage. To be quite honest, I was slightly disappointed. I feel like Connor's one of the best dressage horses in the world. Our biggest challenge is he's a bit tricky to ride. He's a bit spooky. He sort of loses concentration and sort of looks up into the stand, and honestly, when I looked at and analysed all the scores, it was the canter work that's coming up that sort of cost us a few points. At the 5-star level, there's 4 flying changes, and this movement's probably the hardest for me and Connor. It's not that he can't do it, but it's quite they're not automatic yet, so and there's a little bit of luck involved in getting them on the day in the ring as well, and they weren't terrible, but they weren't perfect. So you can sort of see down in the bottom right hand corner, through our trot work and walk work, we were sort of hovering around a score of 27 or 28, which was good, and unfortunately we slipped back to a score of 30.3 after the canter work. Felt like Connor had a great build up towards this event. Really, he's had a very successful year, finishing second at the Kentucky 5-star, and then going to Germany and getting a top placing there in Aachen, and then our grand finale here at the Maryland 5-star was that he was sort of the top now placing American horse. We finished in 3rd place. So I think with all these results and accolades, Connor ended up being the horse of the year in eventing, which is a huge accomplishment. I've only won that one a couple of times, and Connor has been very consistent. We've done a lot of sort of big time events, and when we really decided to pull the trigger and go for it, Connor's he's always been up the front. By saying that, I truly believe he's capable of winning one of these things. You know, third place is great, but I have to admit I'm slightly disappointed walking home from Maryland. I really thought we were a good chance to win it, or second. I suppose in hindsight, I wish I had my time over again a little bit in the cross country. He kind of got quite tired at the top of the hill about 8 or 9 minutes into the cross country course, and I had to sort of really pull him together and take a long route to get him home, just because I felt like he was running out of juice a bit. In hindsight, I wish I didn't ride him quite as fast at the beginning of part of the course, when I really needed Connor to have that second win or that extra burst of energy. I think I used him up a little bit too much at the beginning, which I mean, it's always so much easier to relive it once you've done it, but you know, you'll see on the video here that we sort of ran out of gas a little bit, but to Connor's credit, he really picked up the last 2 minutes and finished strong. This is the jump that I fell off last year. I made sure I had a nice good takeoff distance there, and I gave him a little bit of a cluck before we hopped into that water. It was a slightly easier jump this year, but he jumped into that water no problem. It was one of the most difficult 5-star cross-country courses we've seen. It was a new course designer from France. He was the same guy that designed the Paris Olympic Games, so he was he really built a very, very challenging course. The first part of the course that was really, really tough was this arena combination. There were many horses in the field that took the alternative longer way, and Connor was brilliant. You sort of had to jump through this keyhole, a bit of a bending 5 strides to an offset log, and then a quick 4 strides to another keyhole. And this is why I believe Connor's one of the best horses in the world. He flew through that combination no problem. When we sort of walk the cross-country course, we measure the course and sort of try and figure out where we need to be every minute. And there was you can sort of see with the clock there, we're basically slightly ahead of schedule. I felt like the horse was very, very fresh and travelling well in these early stages of the course. I had a tumble on my early horse Luke at this fence here, so I decided to play it safe with Connor, and I took sort of the long way. Even doing this, I was still ahead of my minute markers, and it was sort of a time expensive combination here. It probably took about 14 or 15 seconds longer going that long way, and as I was sort of going down this hill, I couldn't believe my eyes when I looked at my watch, and I was still sort of 10 seconds ahead of schedule of where I should have been. For the next 2 minutes is all uphill, and around this area most horses did get tired, but I felt like kind of hit the wall a little bit. He never gave up or showed any signs of pulling up, but I could just feel him sort of labouring a little bit in his gallop. I tried to ease off him a little bit just because I knew that we were ahead of schedule time-wise. And then in the back of my mind, I also knew the last minute and a half of the course was downhill, where the horses seemed to freshen up and pick up again. At about this part of the course, about here, I realised I was about 15 seconds up. So, you know, if I had my time over again, maybe I shouldn't have pushed quite as hard early, or maybe even let him go up that hill a little bit slower and easier. The next fence was probably arguably one of the toughest fences on the course, along with the coffin. And when I jumped in, I really felt like Connor was out of gas, and the feeling he gave me when he got into the water was that he was quite empty. So I quickly sort of retreated and went the longer way. Unfortunately, the longer way at the water jump was a very, very time-consuming path, and so he jumped that one a little bit sticky. And as I came around the corner to jump in this top water here, I felt like I just got him in, and he nearly came back to trot. So I quickly did a U-turn without sort of crossing my tracks, and took the long way of the long alternative. You can see there in Connor's jump, he's starting to struggle a little bit, and I have to give the horse credit, because after I took this long way, I was wondering if I was going to make it home, and Connor dug deep and actually really freshened up and charged home and made up some of the time that we lost. So sadly, we had about 8 time penalties with that slow route, but we made it home, and we were placed in 5th going into the final day show jumping. The show jumping was really, really challenging. It was one of the biggest courses that I've seen at a 5-star. It was very technical, and Connor jumped fantastic. My jumping coach Peter Wilde came down. We gave the horse a little bit of exercise in the morning, just stretching work, and just we didn't jump him or anything, but he felt fantastic, and we had a great warm-up. And credit to the horse, he really bounced back from an exhausting day the day before to coming out and jumped one of the only clear rounds in the course. Luckily for us, it was such a hard show jumping course. There were only 4 clear rounds, and so we moved up to 3rd place, which 3rd place in a 5 stars is a huge accomplishment. By saying that, I truly believe this horse has the quality to win this next year, and win some 5 stars. So anyway, Dan, we're going to give the horse a 1-month vacation, just let him freshen up, and then regroup, and then I'd say our main goal will be next spring. We'll look at potentially doing another 5-star, either at Kentucky or even Babington in England. He looks like he's come through the event unscathed, and very, very proud to have such a successful season. This is a very, very special horse, and he's really done us proud this year, but I truly believe the best is still to come. So very much looking forward to 2026 with Connor. Thank you for all your support.